Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at this new stove that I've got for my collection. Basically, it's called the Ka-Bar wood burning stove. This is a stick burning stove, although you can use a number of different fuels with this system. You can see it's really small, it fits into my hand. I've not even opened it yet. So the plan is for today is to try and attempt to make a coffee and some soup on this system, and we can see how it holds up. Now, there are a few reasons why I've picked this system, and I'll explain it throughout the video. So let's get this open. Let's open the box and see what we're working with. I've never opened the box before. This would be the first time, and this is what it comes with. So box and the actual stove itself. We've got a nice little mesh bag to keep everything together. Actually goes in really small, as you can see. It's a really small little stove. Let's open up the mesh bag, and here is our stove. Now this comes in different pieces. So we've got the top cooking bit, as you can see, which we can move these around to adjust to where we need them to be. We've got some instructions, with a little plate. Right here is the assembly sheet in the order that you put it. It's reasonably simple, as you can see. And we'll go into some of the features of this stove when we get it lit. So let's do that right now. So here's all the bits minus the little mesh bag. And to assemble it, it's reasonably simple. So this can go on top. We'll grab this bit first as a little base. Make sure you're on a reasonably flat area. So we've got the base. Then this will initially come upside down, as you can see. So you're going to want to put that like that, and then we can place this inside there, and that should go to the bottom, and then we can simply add our top bit for our pan, a little bit like that. So it says if you're going to use an additional fuel source for like solid fuels, you can put this on top like this. So pretty nice, pretty small, compact, really nice. And yeah, let's get this lit. I'm basically just going to be using sticks, not too thick at all, about the same size as my thumb. I've also got a bunch of dry stuff right here, smaller, drier stuff. And then a little bit later on, I just want to test out some of these thicker bits as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So what I'm attempting to do just with the small ones at first, I'm going to build a little fire up inside. Now you could probably do this a little bit faster with a fire lighter or something like that. Although if you find really dry sticks like this, it's just as good. Might take a little bit longer, you know, because you've got to build it up, but eventually you'll have something built up. You can start adding bigger bits to the fire, and we can really start getting this stove warmed up. I'm going to start adding some of these bits. Little bits as well. Just have to move the camera back. It's getting a little bit hot. So you can see when this gets going, it really does get going. What's happening is air's getting pulled in here, and it's getting pushed up. So we've kind of got like a super flame going on, and you can't really see it, but there is holes here as well, and there's also going to be flames coming through those holes. See, what this top bit is a double wall construction, and it will give it a little bit more efficiency. So what I'm going to do is fully load this up, get it loaded up, and we can start cooking. Don't know if you can see the flames coming out this side, but the flames are coming from the top holes, and that's when you know you're getting some nice heat. So I'm going to, ideally, I should have had the top bit on first, but it's alright, I can get that on. And then I can keep feeding sticks through the top, like this. So first of all, I'm going to make some soup using this stove. Because I'm hungry, I've not had breakfast yet. I've come straight down here to test out this thing. So let's get some soup on. I just want to make sure I've got enough fuel in there. I should have. Right, so I've got this little pan, which I'm going to put here. I've got to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. It looks like I'm going to have to hold it as well. Doesn't really matter. As long as it warms it up, I don't really mind. So yeah, ideally I could do with a bigger pan, but that's my own problem. Big soup in the pan. And let's do this. Well, technically I can just let go, but I don't want it to fall over, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I think it should be alright. Already, it's boiling. The soup is literally boiling already, and it's been on there for a few seconds. Don't know if you can see that. Literally boiling, that's took seconds. That is made that soup quicker than my other gas stove would, just from a few small twigs, and that is real time as well. There's a little closer look. I'm honestly surprised about that. That has gone way hotter than I initially thought. Really surprising. I've got my trusty spoon out of the survival pack. So for me now, that is good enough to eat, and I'm very hungry. So I'm going to eat this, and we're also going to swap this out for some water. Oh. So the soup is actually really nice. Had big soup, in case you didn't see. One thing I've noticed, if you use wet twigs, which you don't want to do, ideally, a lot of smoke can be made, and that's something that you want to avoid. I accidentally just made a bunch of smoke. And of course, if you're trying to do stealth camping, smoke, yeah, is generally going to get you caught in your location, so you've got to be really careful. But it's normally okay once you've got the flame going, and keep it going. Right, I just got some more sticks, little sticks like this, and we're going to boil up some water. Time to boil up some water. Now I've got enough water for 2 people, not just one. I've also got to find a half decent place to put it, because this is not fitting on top. Alright, it does sit on top, but that's going to become very hot, I believe. Almost definitely. Sweet. Now we're boiling up. We just have to wait. So the water is just boiling up. It's a little bit on the angle, but it's sitting there. Should be alright. You can see it's already starting to steam. Like I said, this is going to be for 2 people. So it's not too bad. Reasonably fast. like it did the soup. Just got to make sure you have enough fuel in it. I think if you fill it up, you got around about 20 minutes. You can see that it's really going around my canteen. I could do with a little tray on top, just to make it a little bit leveler. You can see we're nearly boiled now. Very close indeed. Just gonna get all the coffee stuff ready. Coffees are made. Stove's starting to go burn down, as you can see. Still got a fair bit of heat on that. You could probably make something else on it, to be fair. Definitely, it's definitely worth it. So what I figured I'd do was cook up a little bit of meat at home because I wanted to test it. I also used a firelighter, which, let me tell you, it was a lot faster to get it lit. And yes, by mistake, I had the bottom bit on upside down, so potentially I could have turned that around. I would advise taking firelighters. Now, at first, I think because I didn't let it go enough, you can see here, a little bit of smoke coming. However, after around about 2 minutes, 1 minute, something like that, yeah, it perfectly went, so the smoke went and it was complete flames. And it really did heat up this pan nice and fast. You can see here the mince that I'm cooking. I think it's about 250 grams. It cooks it reasonably fast. I didn't have to reload up the stove. And yeah, it cooks it really well through, as you can see. Nice and sizzling up. And as I said, yeah, it heated up reasonably fast. I didn't have to wait. And I didn't have to refill the stove again, which was really nice. So, as far as more solid foods go, you could definitely cook a steak or, I don't know, an omelette or just something more solid on this kind of system. You definitely have enough time to do that. And another test that I wanted to do was take off the top cooking bit where you put your pots and kind of just fill it up way past the top airflow lines, just to see if it was any good, if it gave out any heat. I'm not going to say it gave out zero heat. I mean, if you was in an emergency situation and you couldn't really have a fire, this potentially could work. Overall, I would say that this stove is a pretty good stove. So I think I'm going to be taking this one rather than my other one. My other one's extremely big. This one's really light, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted this stove. Not only that, fuel, you can literally just get fuel anywhere you are. You can find one branch and you'll be able to cook yourself some water, boil some water, cook yourself some food. And yeah, I mean, you could alternatively, well, not alternatively, you could also add bigger bits like that. But what I've noticed is ideally, you really want to make sure that the stuff that you're putting in is really dry, because as soon as the flame kind of goes, you can see that, yeah, the smoke starts coming quite a lot. So if you're stove camping, you really need to be careful when you're lighting this thing, because you don't really want to make a smoke bomb, which is a little bit crazy. I mean, this potentially might not light straight away because of how, I mean, it could be a little bit damp. You see that? As soon as the flames go, boom, straight smoke. It's kind of annoying, but it's not so bad if you just keep it small. Keep good airflow, and the flames will just literally come back like that. So there we have it. There is my brand new stove. The price, by the way, I got this for £29, including delivery. Now, you potentially, I think someone's come in. Let me have a look. No, yeah, well, you could potentially get one for a lot cheaper. Maybe like 20 quid, $20, something like that. But yeah, this one seemed to be pretty good. Had good reviews and stuff like that. So I'll put the one that I've got in the description below, and I will catch you guys on the next one.